everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make a suitcase chair. So the wonderful thing about Atlanta is that it has great thrift stores and antique shops all over the city, and I found this really cute vintage Samsonite suitcase in the perfect color pink for my daughter Rose's nursery. So right now I am just going to tear out all the lining and all of the innards of a suitcase and just get it nice and cleaned out for upholstering and turning it into a chair. I wasn't really expecting to find this vintage suitcase, but I definitely got lucky going to She Loves Rhetro on Ponce, De Leon Avenue in Atlanta, and got super lucky finding this perfect pink suitcase to turn into a chair for Royal's nursery. And right now you can just see that I am taking scissors and just cutting all the insides out. The little clothes holder things, I don't even know what those little straps are called, but I'm just going to cut them out. And next, it's really dirty on the inside, so I'm just going to take some Lysol and really give it a nice clean down. It was super dirty on the inside, but like I said, it's a vintage antique Samsonite suitcase, originally probably from the 50s or 60s, and probably hasn't been cleaned since, because as you can see, all that dirt and yuck that I'm getting out from the inside of that suitcase. So now that the suitcase is clean, I'm going to measure the distance between the legs that I'm going to put on the suitcase. I got my legs from Lowe's. They were about maybe less than like $3 for each leg. And right now I'm just going to measure the distance between where I'm going to place the brackets to screw the legs in. So that's the first angle. I use 2 angle brackets and 2 flat brackets. The angle brackets will go in the back of the chair, and your flat brackets will go in the front of the chair. So you want the bump to go up towards where you're doing your work. And I'm just going to take some regular screws, wood screws. These aren't that long. They're probably like 1 inch long. And I'm just going to screw the angle brackets to the suitcase. There's my little helper. There's my little helper right there. Making sure I'm making her chair right, I guess. So yeah, this part's pretty simple. And ignore the legs right now, but I did this in reverse in reality. But what you want to do before you even put on the legs is trace out your foam for your upholstery. For the upholstery section, I kind of forgot, and so I had to undo everything just to do this, but I'm recording in order now. And then I cut my foam out. I just used a regular steak knife kind of apparatus, whatever. It's a knife, people. And just cutting it out. So I cut out one for the bottom, for the seat, and one for the back of the chair. Okay, so now I'm putting the flat brackets on and putting them in the front of where I marked. And it's relatively simple. My suitcase was a little rounded. A lot of suitcases that you will see are going to be, maybe the vintage one are going to be very square. But I kind of had to work around the fact that my suitcase was round and wasn't as flat to work with a lot of the angles that I was trying to get, straight up and down chair or but it really worked out fine. I found ways to, make it still look good. So I screw on my legs into the brackets. And then you find I took these L-shaped brackets that I also got from Lowe's. And this is going to create, there's my helper again. The joys of being a stay-at-home mom. I'm trying to get this project done, and Royal just wants to be around me. But anywho, So just to help the back stay straight on a 90-degree angle, it does have a little lean, and what helps it lean is the fact that the brackets on the bottom, the angle bracket on the bottom, helps it have that little incline so you're not sitting completely straight up. But I'm taking these L brackets, and like I said, mine wasn't a completely square, 90-degree angle suitcase, so I had to find a way to screw these L brackets in, and I did. I just the little butt outs that help the suitcase stand up, I screwed those L brackets into the rubber butt outs on the suitcase, and it stayed up perfectly. And you can see how it really does support the suitcase. So next, I'm just going to take some extra 2x2 wood that I had and place it inside of my suitcase, because the foam would have gone all the way down and I didn't want to. So now I'm upholstering the wood. I had 18x13 wood that I got and I cut. And since I don't want the foam to be sunken into the seat, I just had to put that wood in to raise it up. And so now I'm just taking my electric stapler and my foam, my fabric, and the wood, and I'm going to staple it. I didn't really pull it as tight I normally would have with like a couch or a chair, because I didn't want to lose the shape of the foam. So I just kept it, I just pulled and stapled, but not as hard. And you just want to secure your corners. Yep. It's pretty simple so far. And that's the seat. So now I'm going to head off and do the back. I take my power drill and I pre-marked some holes and drilled where I marked the holes. Took a little spray adhesive, sprayed it down really good to get it to a nice sticky coat. And you place your board where you want your tufting buttons to go. And do the same thing with the back. Just take your fabric, your foam, and your wood, put it all together like an upholstery sandwich, and just use your staple. It doesn't have to be an electric stapler like mine. It could be a regular staple gun, and fold up your edges. Pull not as tight, because I have 3-inch foam, and Royal is trying to help again. 3-inch foam with no batting. Well, I don't think it was necessary, because it is for a little girl. She won't be, sinking into it. And so now it's time for the tufting part. Just cut some twine. I have my smallest upholstery needle. I'm going to thread that needle. And you're going to find your hole through the back, not the front, through the back, so it can go through the front. See? Needle's coming through. You pull it through. And the way I do tufting is not the way that my mother originally taught me how to tuft. Some people pull it through the hole, take the needle and thread the needle with the button and pull it back. I don't have time to be finding the hole. It's just frustrating. I tried it, I gave up, and this is what I do. So I just take one piece of string, I put it through. I take another piece of string, I put it through. I thread the button on the second piece of string like I'm doing right now. Pull that sucker through. And I just tie a knot in it. 2-3 knots should be fine. Because that finding the hole, my mom did it once and it was just like, you know what, I'm frustrated. I just do it this way, and it works just the same way. You pull it. Now, what you're going to see later in the video is that the buttons are going to be way too tight, because like I said, this is only 3-inch foam, and I ended up just reworking it later. You'll see in the finished product. But this is how you secure your button. You just take an extra piece of fabric, you roll it up, take your upholstery needle, slide it through so it's already threaded on one piece. Take your other string, tie it in a knot, and this piece of material just keeps the strings from pulling back through the hole, so your buttons will be loose and won't look tufted anymore if there's nothing to help keep the string on the other side. But see, I'm pulling way too tight. Don't do that if you do it my way. Just give it a nice little tug so I can put a little indent in it, and that I pulled it way too tight, and so you'll see in the end why it looked the way it did. But in the refinished project, I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, see, buttons are like way too tight, way too tight. Doesn't look like a comfy seat. But overall, this is the end of the project. I just stick the foam inside the suitcase, although the seat is already inside. I use the back, and you see me looking at it like, oh, that does not look comfy. Yeah. It doesn't look comfy. We've got to rework it the next day, and I'm just gonna come back at it tomorrow so you guys can see the finished product here. Alright guys, if you like this project, like this video, and be sure to visit me at my website at www.handyhomegirl.com for more amazing DIY projects. Alright, see you later. Bye-bye. Hey homies, you can find more DIY tips and tutorials at thehandyhomegirl.com, and stay up to date by subscribing to my blog and my YouTube channel. And you can also follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram. See you later, guys. Bye.